The doctor in front of your name.
So as we're talking about this, and I just have so many like more questions for you, but I feel like I can just ask that when we have coffee.
I love it.
But as we're talking about like family and like being that today we're kind of like focusing on the holiday season, being that we're in this season of like people talking to their families and stuff, and going back home. Do you have any specific holiday traditions that you and your family engage in?
Listen, it's so interesting, especially you talk about this time of year. I love to say for so many people, this is the most triggering time of year for a lot of different reasons. So growing up, I'm the oldest of 3 children. My parents were really young parents. Like they had me, literally, my mom had me the day after she turned 17. So in some ways, like I literally grew up with my parents, but it was always very clear that they were the parents. Okay. Like there was never, I'm not one of your little friends.
Right.
My mama invented that. Okay. And I was always like, but my friends love you. Come to the mall. No, she wasn't doing it. So, but they were really big about tradition, but tradition was never really rooted around finances, right? So we were really big on, we knew that it was about the entire experience. My dad would literally do things like, he was the dad, I kid you not, he would dress up like Santa Claus because we was going to have us a black Santa Claus. He was not going to let Santa take credit and did not look like him. That was not happening.
Right.
But he loved Christmas so much, he would literally climb up on the rooftop at night on Christmas Eve to make the sounds like the reindeer and all of that. And it was just magical. We always knew, no matter how hard they worked, because they were literally, we were working class folks. They were always at work. But we always knew that the entire Christmas day we were going to be together. So we'd get up super early. We'd open up the presents. I don't know how they figured out, being that young, how to get us those amazing presents that they did. But it was never really about the presents. It was just that the music was on all day. The cooking was happening all day. The toys were happening, and we were just together. So like that sense of family has always been really, really big for me. I mean, hence I got 7 kids, right? So, but it's hard. It's harder to get everybody together during the holidays. But I think that tradition has stayed with me, that more than the gifts, once the gifts get undone, you know, you'll take 7 minutes to unwrap $1 million worth of gifts. But afterwards, that collectiveness, that togetherness, like that was everything.
That's amazing. And it's so interesting how, like, you know, even though you say your parents were young, they had like children or what have you, like they still made it work.
Yes.
Like they created those traditions, and it's, you still hold true to that.
Yes. And listen, my parents are still together to this day. And I don't know how they did any of it. I don't know how they had me. Every year on my birthday, I always say to my mom and my dad, thank you for having me. Thank you for choosing me, because I don't know at 16 if I would have made the same decision, right? So just the blessing of existence. But the idea that they always tried to figure it out. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty all the time. It was none of that, but they figured it out. And so I think, you know, when we talk about what family means, when we talk about what it means to be around family, when we talk about holidays, you have all of those things, the good, the bad, and the ugly, that come together in this really triggering way, because it's your past, present, and your future staring you in the face at a time where we're all supposed to pretend that the only thing that exists in the moment is just the good. So it's very interesting how it comes together.
The doctor in front of your name.